Hey everyone, RMFH, finally back from the depths of the royal family's crypt. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Forged in Gaming. If you're interested, you can check out the other episodes in the playlist above. And while you're at it, why not tell me what weapon you'd like to see in the next video? The Kingdom Key from Kingdom Hearts, or the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII? Let me know down in the comments below. The Master Sword. This sacred blade has made quite the name for itself over the years, so far appearing in 10 mainline Zelda titles, as well as various other games outside of the series, like Skyrim, Soul Calibur, and Bayonetta, just to name a few. The Master Sword is obviously the main weapon of choice for our boy Link, and for good reason, as it's chock full of sacred energy, allowing the blade to repel evil, shoot beams of light, cut through evil barriers, and much more. So where exactly did the Master Sword come from? And what could have been used to forge a blade with such godly abilities? To answer the first question, we need only look to Skyward Sword. This is when the Master Sword was known by its original title, the Goddess Sword, forged by the hands of Hylia herself. This holy weapon, along with its Spirit Fi, were created by her grace to one day be used by the chosen hero to defeat the Demon King Demise. However, in its unaltered form, the Goddess Sword really wasn't all that powerful. In order for the weapon to gain its true power, the chosen hero needed to temper the blade in the 3 sacred flames of the Golden Goddesses. First, transforming it into the goddess's longsword with Furor's flame, this doubled the blade's power and increased its length. Next, the goddess's white sword with Nehru's flame, this flame enhanced the blade's dowsing ability and continued the purification process. Then, with the power of Din's flame, formed the Master Sword. Tempered by all 3 flames of the goddesses, the blade gained the power to annihilate evil. And last, with Zelda's blessing, the Master Sword unlocked its true potential. So now that we know where the fabled blade came from and who crafted it, we can start to look into what Hylia may have used to create the sword that seals the darkness. Not to be confused with the broadsword, the Master Sword is something in between an arming sword and a longsword. Very similar to a bastard sword, but I digress. So what is it made out of? The easy answer would be steel, and that would work, but sacred energy in the Zelda universe can't just be thrust onto any old metal like that. This is proven by the creation of the Phantom Sword, a lesser blade than that of the Master Sword, but still a weapon infused with sacred energy. In order for the Phantom Sword to be made, it needs to be infused with sacred energy along with pure metals, as standard steel cannot handle the divine power transferred into the blade during the forging process. This information is given to us by none other than Zaz, the blacksmith that created the Phantom Sword. And I for one find this very interesting, as the Phantom Sword isn't nearly as powerful as the Master Sword, yet it needs to be created using pure metals in order for the weapon to even come out somewhat stable. One other weapon that may help rule out the use of steel in the Master Sword's creation is the Royal Guard Sword. This weapon is a Sheikah-made replica of the sword that seals the darkness. The Sheikah must have attempted to use regular old steel in the process of replicating the Master Sword, likely fusing the blade with the power of the blue flame. Seeing as the Sheikah must have overlooked the use of pure metals, the Royal Guard Sword and other weapons in that line came out very powerful but very brittle, rendering them useless in combat. All of that's for another video, I thought I'd just point it out for good measure. Alright, if the Master Sword can't be made out of steel, then what wacky magical super metal are we looking at here? I think our most likely candidate is Master Ore, a metal found in A Link Between Worlds, that's able to be fused with the Master Sword, increasing its power. What's even more interesting about this ore is its absence in Hyrule, only being found in Hyrule's parallel world, Lorule. It's possible that the first 2 pieces of Master Ore that resided in Hyrule were originally used in the creation of the Goddess Sword, and the remaining 2 were used later on in A Link to the Past when the sword is first retempered in the Downfall timeline. Okay, the blade might in fact be made of Master Ore, but how exactly does it hold on to sacred energy over a vast amount of time, like our little Zelda timeline over here? And how does a sword retain its luster after so many run-ins with Ganon? This is where the hilt comes in. You see, this is where the blade stores its power, acting as a battery of sorts. The only substance that comes to mind when thinking of the goddess Hylia is Timeshift Ore. Hylia used this material in the creation of the Goddess Crest, Goddess Cubes, and both Gates of Time. Of course, the Master Sword interacts with all of these items, seamlessly transferring energy from the blade to each of these objects. This leads me to believe that the hilt of the blade is made out of timeshift ore. Hear me out, if this was true, it would explain why the Master Sword is able to take such a beating like we see in Breath of the Wild, and then regenerate like nothing ever happened to it. Tapping into the potential of the timeshift ore in the hilt, the Master Sword is able to turn back time, healing all of its wounds. The ability is conserved in Breath of the Wild by having the sword recharge, all in an effort to preserve the power to drive back Calamity Ganon. Heck, the hilt can even suck the life force directly out of somebody, as shown in Breath of the Wild as the Master Sword's test, when Link tries to pull the Blade of Evil's Bane. To further drive home my point about the hilt, we need only look at every time the true form of the Master Sword is unlocked. In each instance, the blade draws its power from the hilt up, dousing its blade in sacred energy. While it's in its pedestal, it's able to recharge its hilt and regenerate its blade, retaining its luster for the next chosen hero to one day wield it in battle. Originally crafted by a goddess, it was in fact the efforts of a mere mortal Hylian that forged the Master Sword's true form. Regardless of what the Master Sword is made out of, whether that be master ore, steel, or some other mythical metal, we have all come to know and love this legendary weapon for what it is, and I for one have enjoyed watching its rich backstory evolve over the years. Seeing the Master Sword go from just a powerful endgame sword to a weapon with actual backstory and an emotional bond to the main character of the series was quite a treat to see. So with that said, that just about wraps it up. How did you like today's episode? Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.